What is up, everybody? It is your friendly Cherry Soda Fox here, and you may or may not be able to tell that unfortunately, this fox is pretty darn sick. I am unfortunately not feeling too great. I caught a bug over this past weekend of some kind, and it's just been getting steadily worse as the days have progressed. But you may also notice that sitting next to me here on the table is my beloved Fursuit. Not exactly a great combination when you think about it, because Fursuit, very valuable, and again, a prized possession to most furries who have the opportunity to have one, and a germ-infested person. Again, not a great combo. So, how do you keep this thing disinfected, smelling great, and looking great for the long haul? Now, if you haven't seen some of my videos previously, we've already covered how to wash your fursuit properly. So that's after a convention or after a long time in suit or something like that. There's a full video for that, the link to which I've provided in the description box below. But what about short-term use? What about just putting it on for a few minutes or something like that, and you want to kind of just spot clean it or just get rid of any germs? How do you do that? Well, today I'm going to show you what are and what are not the best ways to disinfect your fursuit. So first things first, let's talk about what is not good to use on your suit. For starters, any kind of aerosol or sprayable household chemicals and or disinfectants. Now, while this stuff here in this can may be great at disinfecting and cleaning off your bathroom sink, it is definitely harsh enough to ruin certain parts of your suit. Same goes with this stuff. A lot of furries know this. This is Febreze, or any kind of air freshener. Problem with this is they often have oil-based scents. Now, oil can, of course, make your fursuit very shiny, and it can also give it kind of a gross appearance. And not only that, it can also mat the fur. Now, some Febreze is great in small quantities. If perhaps you want to mist it maybe across the inside of your suit, that may be fine and dandy. But again, it is a bit of a hazard. So this kind of stuff is out of the question. So next up on the list, any kind of sprayable deodorant, or even worse, an antiperspirant. And I'm especially talking to a lot of you furry macho guys out there. I know how much you guys love to smell great to impress the ladies or perhaps impress your other half or whomever, but trust me, the stuff that's contained in this sometimes can be absolutely horrendous when it comes to being around your suit. And I mean, you just read some of the ingredients, like in this particular sprayable deodorant here, there's butane in it. That's the kind of stuff, if I'm correct, that goes in the fuel source for a camping stove. Not exactly a great thing to have around your suit. And it really doesn't matter what brand you go with. I mean, I have some Axe that I love to use on myself, but I would never, ever use any of these things on my suit. Now, switching over to the feminine side of things for a second. Ladies, I know you love to smell great if you're going out with your boyfriend or going out on your own or something like that, and you want to wear something that gives you that aura of loveliness and sexiness and all that stuff. But trust me, you don't want stuff like this body fragrance mist that I have here going anywhere near your suit for one particular reason that I can think of right off the bat. The fragrances in this are oil-based. So, the oil gets on your suit, it's going to give it that glossy look, as I was saying before, and it can basically lead to either matted fur, discolored fur, or perhaps ruin some other part of your suit in the process. So this stuff, not going to happen. Alrighty, so now that that little rant and rave is over with, let's talk about the things that are actually good for cleaning your fursuit. For starters, if you're a little anal about things, go ahead and wash the suit completely. I happen to have just some ordinary fabric softener that you can buy in the grocery store, and I start, of course, in the bathtub, cleaning it as much as possible by hand, and finishing the process on the gentle cycle in the washing machine. Now again, if you want to find out more about that, click the link below to visit the video where I did a full, in-depth talk on how to wash your suit. Now, if you don't want to clean your suit completely and perhaps be without it for a while, you can of course spot clean it with things like fursuit sprays. But a little bit of advice here, be careful which ones you get. I'm actually awaiting the chance to try a product by my friend Plushy Pup. She started making fursuit sprays just recently, and I've also had the chance to test some sprays and cleaning products from a company called Wash Your Paws. Now, I've included the link to that video in the description box as well, so feel free to check that out as you're here. But again, do beware which sprays you get, because this particular sample right here was made for me by a friend, but unfortunately that particular friend, who shall remain nameless, for respectful reasons, did not actually tell me what he put in this. And unfortunately, as you can see, as it is sat over time, maybe if you're able to see that, it has actually turned a nasty shade of yellow. Now, that unfortunately means that the white parts of my suit that may be exposed to this stuff have actually been stained in the past. So I had to do some extra cleaning after I used this. On top of that, because I didn't know what was in this, I used this stuff to spray down my Under Armour to make it smell just a little bit better and not actually spray it on the suit itself. And unfortunately, it was so bad, or I must have had some kind of allergic reaction, that I actually broke out in a rash. So again, beware which sprays you use. But my preferred method and my favorite one of all is simple isopropyl alcohol. Now, I do not recommend just taking this stuff straight out of the bottle and squirting it all over your suit. You have to use it in the proper diluted solution. You want to get a small bottle, again, about like what's used for this spray here, and you want to dilute it 1-to-1. So that means 1 part alcohol to 1 part regular water. Now you can use distilled water or you can use water right out of the tap. It really doesn't matter. Water is water nowadays. As long as it's clean, that is important. But for the alcohol part of it, you want to go anywhere between 50 and 70% isopropyl alcohol to start. Now, you may find some like 91% isopropyl alcohol, but that is basically paint thinner in a can or in a bottle. And I do not recommend using it unless your fursuit is so nasty that it smells like the backside of a passing cow. You know who you are. I've smelled your suits before. No names included here. But as you can see, I do have some 70% isopropyl alcohol here. It's perfectly good because it's an antiseptic, and it of course is good for cleaning things like your cuts and stuff like that, but it also is a very big disinfectant. So in the proper diluted solution, in a small container like that, my recommendation is using isopropyl alcohol and water. Alrighty guys, so there you have it, some of my favorite ways and some of my not so preferred ways of cleaning and disinfecting your fursuit. Now if you guys like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and also click that subscribe button down below to check out all kinds of other furry-fied content to come in the future. And as sick as I may be, this has been your friendly Cherry Soda Fox signing out from my home here in Houston, Texas. And as I've said before, I'll just see you at the next Furmy, the next convention, or maybe I'll just see you around town.